This is Grunt to Groan, sales lessons learned from professional wrestling. Coming to you from the Delaware Wrestling Thunderdome, I'm your host, Benjamin Burrows.
I am one voice that stands alone. I am one choice to man the throne. Stand guard and take shots, give it all I got. All I got is this microphone.
And it is a great and glorious day to be out selling your products and selling your services. For you are the great American thunder on which this nation rolls, because nothing happens until something is sold. Nothing happens until you sell it. Welcome to Grunt to Groan, sales lessons learned for professional wrestling. I'm your host, Benjamin Burrows. We are coming to you from the fabulous Delaware Wrestling Thunderdome. My producer, Dave the Ray, the staff of Grunt to Groan, Sonny Thunder, and the Sons of Thunders all hanging and banging with us on this Monday morning. I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy sales day, for taking the time to listen to Grunt to Groan, sales lessons learned for professional wrestling. I do appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the emails as well. You can send us an email at greatamericanthunder@gmail.com. That's greatamericanthunder@gmail.com. Now, I sound a little scratchy this morning, and my head is a little congested. I'm battling a little bit of a cold. You know, here in the Northeast, we're having great weather today, and we had great weather yesterday, up in the 60s, mid-60s, 65 degrees. But that came after the temperatures had dropped over Thanksgiving week and last week down into the 30s. So right now, I've got a cold. I've got a seasonal cold. The head is congested. My throat is scratchy. I feel great physically. I really do. I just sound like crap. Yeah, so Dave the Ray saying, you know, what's unusual about that? Thanks, buddy. Thank you. So my voice is a little scratchy. But thank you for listening to the podcast anyway. Hey, I want to send some shout-outs on this morning's podcast to PCO. Congratulations on getting a Ring of Honor contract. PCO is a 30-year veteran of professional wrestling. He's wrestled for the WWE, the WCW, TNA, and many, many others. He was awarded a Ring of Honor contract last week. Congratulations to PCO on that. Also want to say congratulations to Ty Awesome. This past Saturday night, he won the ECWA World Heavyweight Championship. I know Ty's going to be a great champion, honorable champion. Ty has held many belts throughout his independent career. He's an up-and-coming professional wrestler that I think we're going to see in the big leagues probably within the next 2 years. So congratulations to Ty Awesome. Also want to say congrats to Marcus Waters, my good buddy, and his tag team partner, the Funky White Boy. They retained the ECWA Tag Team Championship belts on Saturday night as well. I do want to say to all you professional wrestling fans on the Delmarva that professional wrestling returns to the Cross Christian Center this Saturday night. Doors open at 6, bell time at 7. It's 1CW. They're putting on a big card. Mr. Grimm, their heavyweight champion, will be defending the belt. He weighs in at 27 body bags. And Double J, Jeff Jarrett, the WWE Hall of Famer, will be in the house. Again, the doors open at 6. Bell time is at 7. Make sure you check it out. Independent wrestling. And no matter where you're listening to the podcast from, look up your independent wrestling scene and go out and hang out with your independent wrestlers and support them. They pour their heart out each and every time they climb into the ring. I have great respect for them and great respect for the amount of work and dedication that they put into their craft. Just like as a sales professional, I have great respect for you. I have great respect for the work and the honor and the morals that you bring to this profession of sales. And that's why we do this Grunt to Groan week after week after week after week after week. I haven't said it in a while, but if you're interested in starting a Grunt to Groan Nation chapter in your city, territory, or region, just let me know. Hit me up at greatamericanthunder@gmail.com. Also, don't forget that the Grunt to Groan Sales Lessons Learned for Professional Wrestling book is available on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and Walmart.com. It makes a great Christmas gift for the sales professional in your life. So if you haven't picked up a copy of the book, please do. The sales professional in your life is going to thank you for picking up the book. Grunt to Groan, Sales Lessons Learned from Professional Wrestling. You can also order You're Putting a Headlock on the Holidays hoodie. That's official branded Grunt to Groan merchandise. It's Santa Claus in the middle of a wrestling ring putting a headlock on the Skull Crusher. You can order that at Amazon.com. It makes a great Christmas gift. And if you have one of those parties where you can wear an ugly hoodie or an ugly sweater, this will allow you to fit right in. It really will. It's Santa Claus and the Skull Crusher. That's available at Amazon.com. All of our Grunt to Groan merchandise is available on Amazon.com. So jumping into the podcast this week, I do want to go back again to last week where we talked about your branding, the branding of you. And real quick, I talked about embracing a cause. Again, got quite a bit of feedback about that podcast and the podcast the week before. Now, I want to drive this point home. I don't want you to go out and embrace a cause just because you think embracing that cause will enhance or move your professional career or your sales forward. What I want you to do is embrace a cause that's near and dear to your heart, that's in your DNA, something that you are passionate about and you're driven about. For me, it's our veterans community. You've heard me say that before. It might be your church. It might be your food pantry. It might be your clothing pantry. Whatever the cause is, we are called as sales professionals to a higher standard where it should be in our thought and in our process and in our DNA to give back. To embrace a cause, something near and dear to our heart. And I think you will find in your own personal branding that if you take this part of you, this extension of you, and you embrace that, hey, you're going to feel great about yourself. You're going to feel great that you're accomplishing something in your community. But also, you can lay your head at night knowing that you are changing the world and that you're changing the world for the better. So don't embrace a cause just because you think it's going to help your career or increase your branding. It will, I'm telling you. But embrace a cause that changes your world, that impacts your world, that allows you to help others. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, is a prime example of this in professional wrestling. He put out over the weekend a charity t-shirt called Elite Dogs. It's inspired by a couple wrestlers he hangs out with, Marty Scurll and Adam Page's own dogs, Pharaoh, Winston, and Ultra Tito. The proceeds will go to Red Rover, which helps animals rescued from disasters, neglect, or domestic violence. So here's a wrestler who is on top of the world, and yet he puts out a t-shirt, a charity t-shirt called Elite Dogs. And I just wanted to bring that up to you because embracing a cause is something that has to be in your DNA. It has to be something that you are very passionate about. Just like my love for sales professionals, I'm very passionate about it. And that's why I work hard to make Grunt to Groan something that you are proud of, but something that helps you in some way, shape, or form. And if it does, email me. And if I could get better, which I know I can, email me at greatamericanthunder@gmail.com. So, I want to jump into the meat of this week's podcast. And this is very near and dear to me as well. We are entering that time of the year, the holiday season, where it is either extremely joyous or it's extremely depressing. This is the time of year where depression seems to hit people the hardest and the strongest. It's that time of year where people either celebrate or they get depressed. And as a sales professional and in doing research for the book, Grunt to Groan, Sales Lessons Learned for Professional Wrestling, I found out that depression runs rampant in the profession of sales. I wrote about this in my book. I wrote about the fact that Health.com ranks the profession of sales within the top 10 industries in our country that suffer the most from depression. At the time, it was number 7 on the list. And there are a lot of demands that sales professionals are expected to meet, achieve, or exceed. And there are multiple sales professionals that I call friends that I have met since writing the book who have told me, Benjamin, I suffer from depression. This is serious stuff. And with this podcast, I'm going to ask you, the Grunt to Groan Nation, to have a keen eye and to keep a lookout for our brothers and sisters in this profession and our brothers and sisters in our world who may be suffering from depression. We could say something positive to someone that could change not just their minute and not just their hour and not just their day and not just their week, but it could change their entire life. I wrote about this in the book, The Power of Positive Speaking. And sometimes, as I wrote in the book, the power of positive speaking needs to be self-directed. Sometimes, a lot of times, we need to speak positives to ourselves. As sales professionals, we go in and out of meetings, and we either get the deal or we don't get the deal. And we are constantly, when we don't get the deal, beating ourselves up. And I'm going to encourage you to stop that and to start speaking positives. Remember Bret Hart. I'm the best there is, I'm the best there was, and I'm the best there ever will be. So what are the signs of depression? And I want you to be on the lookout for this amongst your peers and in your world. And when you look in the mirror, signs of depression include sadness or emptiness, Everyone's had moments or periods of sadness in their lives. But when a person feels down most days for at least 2 weeks, it can be a sign of depression, sadness, or emptiness. Signs of depression: feelings of worthlessness or guilt. People with depression often have a diminished sense of self and self-worth. These signs come from health.com, by the way. They see themselves as losers. That's a sign of depression. Hopelessness or pessimistic thinking. Being overwhelmed with negative thoughts is a hallmark symptom of depression. Be on the lookout for this. Loss of interest or pleasure in enjoyable activities. This is where I see this the most with sales professionals, where they lose interest or joy in things that make life worth living, like their hobbies, their friends, work, food, sex. Insomnia or oversleeping. People with depression may have trouble falling asleep. Alternately, they may sleep too much rather than engaging in activities. Signs of depression on health.com. Loss of energy or fatigue. Slow movements or restlessness. Appetite or weight changes. Unexplained aches, pains, or digestive problems. Poor hygiene. And thoughts of death or suicide. This last one strikes right at the heart. We know the suicide rate is growing in this country. The sense of hopelessness, of worthlessness. People who are depressed may see no way out of their misery other than by taking their own life. Now look, this sounds overwhelming. That's why I'm asking you, as a sales professional, to be on the lookout for these signs with your peers, with your friends, and with your family. It is a trying time of year, especially for a sales professional, because we know we have a monthly quota that has to be met, and we basically only have a 2.5-week sales window to meet that quota. The pressure is on. Now, how do I combat depression? And those of you who know me know that I suffer from depression. The power of positive speaking is first and foremost. I get up every day and say, it's a great day, and it's only going to get better. Yes, I get up every day, and I do say, I'm the best there is, I'm the best there was, and I'm the best there ever will be. When the pressure is on, and I'm feeling as if I'm slipping into depression, I work harder. I make one more sales call. I send out 3 more email invites. When I'm slipping into depression, I find great joy in my grandsons, calling them on the phone, visiting with them, talking with them, having them come over. I find great joy in the church that I'm attending, Pastor Tim Banks and his congregation. His very optimistic outlook. These are the things that I do to battle this dreadful and awful disease, depression. And I extend to you that if you feel depressed, please do not hesitate to email me. I will respond. Reach out to your friends and your family. Reach out to your peers. Do not hesitate. Here are also some phone numbers that you can call if you feel so depressed that you're not sure what direction to turn. The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration has a hotline that's manned 24 hours a day. 1-800-662-4357. The National Hope Line Network is manned 24 hours a day. 1-800-784-2433. The National Youth Crisis Hotline is 1-800-448-4663. And the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-TALK. T-A-L-K. This time of the year can be very trying. It can be very depressing. But as sales professionals, we need to look out for one another. We need to look out for our friends. We need to look out for our family. And we need to make sure that this is the most joyous time of the year and not the worst time of the year. I hope my message resonates. I love each and every one of you. I love sales professionals. I love what you do. I love that you get up each and every day and you go out and you prospect new business and you present and you close business and you capture share of wallet. I love that you're fighting to meet your quota and exceed your quota. And that despite the fact that we hear more no's than yes, you get up every day and you do it again and again and again. I have great respect for you. I have great respect for what you do. And understand, I mean this with my heart. I love you with my heart. If you are feeling depressed, do not hesitate to reach out. GreatAmericanThunder@gmail.com. I want to thank you for listening to the podcast. I know it's been a serious one. Email me at greatamericanThunder@gmail.com. Connect with me on LinkedIn at Benjamin Burrows or follow me on Twitter at greatamericanThunder@gmail.com. Remember, you are the Great American Thunder on which this nation rolls because nothing happens until something is sold. So quit listening to me. Get out there and sell something.
I am one voice that stands alone. I am one choice to man the throne. Stand guard and take shots. Give it all I got. All I got is this microphone. I am my thoughts, my skill displayed.